Well, hello, Judy. How are you?
Good, how are you?
I know it. I am so glad to be here with you at the Sunset Club. I wish all of you out there were with us as well. We've got our table setting. We're just waiting for our popovers and maybe a little salad.
Yes, and normally we'd already have a glass of wine, but this year I hope everybody got their little red packets that registered early with their honey orange rim shot, and Fred's mixing us a pomegranate orange martini
Oh, yes.
to go in those with a little bit of cranberry garnish.
Right, now everybody got your packet, right? It had all of our goodies in there. You just tear it open, put it on a plate, put your glass in. Oh, so perfect.
Yeah.
So we're prepared.
All right, so cheers to us.
Cheers to us. We're going to go ahead and pour these. Hopefully everybody enjoyed our beginning program this morning.
Yes.
Oh, look at that. That is rich.
Yeah.
Okay.
And as you can see, we are practicing safe pandemic processes.
Yes.
And we're keeping separate. So we're going to take turns here. And soon Fred is going to step out. And I will talk for a little while. And then the show is all Fred's after that.
Well, we have a great lineup for you guys. So I'm going to let Judy take it away with our wonderful opening right now. And we'll be back with some more fantastic program for you.
All right. Thank you. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to the Casey Howard Guild's 26th Annual Holiday Luncheon. Wow, what a year. When we started planning this event, I have to admit that I asked our guild members whether this might be the year to take off from our fundraising efforts. But after a discussion, via Zoom, of course, we decided that in light of the economic challenges so many families are experiencing, this was the time to really do it because Children's needs us more than ever. The mission of Casey Howard Guild is to raise money for uncompensated care. In fact, helping families who need financial assistance with medical bills is the founding mission of Seattle Children's. No family in our region is turned away because of financial need. And last year, over 60% of families at Seattle Children's required assistance, which added up to $184 million. In addition to raising funds for uncompensated care, our guild also tries to raise awareness on issues of pediatric disease and treatment. When we considered the focus for this year, our guild learned some startling statistics about the mental health crisis among young people. Did you know that depressive disorders are currently the #2 reason for hospitalizations at Seattle Children's? 50% of all lifetime cases of mental health begin at the age of 14, and Washington State is ranked 43rd in the country for childhood mental health disorders because the prevalence is so high and the access to service is so low. And we know these numbers are likely to rise due to the effect that the pandemic is having on the mental health of our children and adolescents, and perhaps adults. As a result, the Casey Howard Guild would like to dedicate our Raise the Paddle funds today to the Behavioral Health Crisis Care Clinic. We will hear from Javi Berea, an amazing young woman who will talk about her own mental health challenges, and we will learn about new therapies and treatments from Dr. Elizabeth McCauley. She's the Associate Director for Psychiatry and Behavioral Health. Once you hear their stories and the statistics, I think you will agree that the Behavioral Health Crisis Care Clinic is a worthy recipient of our financial support. I would also like to thank our longtime premier sponsor, Ascent. They have been so generous and a partner for so many years and stuck with us for this virtual event. Thanks to all of our underwriting and in-kind sponsors and donors. You'll see a list of those later. You all help ensure that the dollars raised today go directly to Seattle children. I would also like to thank our beloved Casey Howard Guild members who work tirelessly behind the scenes. We are so sad not to be together this year and to be with all our friends and family, but we will relish our time in person even more next year. And now, the reason we're all here: to raise money for Seattle Children's Uncompensated Care, and from now on, we're going to call it the Crisis Care Clinic, a little bit shorter. We have a very full agenda. So now I'd like to officially reintroduce Fred Granados. As you know, Fred has been a part of this Casey Howard Guild family for many years, and we are so glad to have him here with us again today. Thank you.
Ooh, all
And
right.
cheers to you, Fred.
Well, cheers to you. Now,
right.
we're not going to actually touch glasses because of COVID protocol.
All right,
So.
but I'm going to take mine with
Yeah,
me.
you take it and
All
enjoy
right.
that.
Thank you.
Wow. Well, hey, everybody. We are back, and we're so excited to be here with you. Where is my popover? You know how it is. You just can't get enough of those things. They're wonderful. Well, we have a great program for you all, and I just wish we could all be together right now. But from the bottom of my heart, happy holidays to you. Merry Christmas coming up, and please be prepared to give generously today. So you may notice on your screen that you're watching, if you're doing a digital donation, that these are coming in anonymous. We want to make sure that everybody has that anonymity and the ability to give. And if the digital giving is not your thing, take your checkbook out, write a check right now and send it in. If you would also love to call one of our board members and give a credit card donation that way, or make a pledge, you also are welcome to do that. For everybody online with us, keep watching on your laptop or smart TV. Get your smartphone out and get ready to bid and donate. All right. So thank you again to our longtime generous sponsor, Ascent. We are so pleased that they agreed to support us again this year. Thank you so much, you all. Our generous sponsors help ensure that the dollars we raise today go directly to Seattle Children's. And we couldn't do it without our longtime in-kind sponsors as well. Jay, thank you for those of you out at K&H covering all of our printing needs. It's wonderful to work with you again. Also, Alaska Airlines has donated the tickets we are raffling off today. So here's some more of our generous sponsors and donors as well. Thank you to Sage Lodge. You saw some of their information pop up. That's one of our live auction items we're going to get to later. Thank you to Bob over at 21 for Fun. Love you, Bob. Bringing our first large party in-home party casino night. That's coming up in our live auction. Thank you to our friends John Howie and Cookies with Tiffany. We have some great items from them coming up as well. Thank you also to our donors in the live auction and raffle. Debbie and Kirk Johnson, Amelia Manham, and Judy Nielsen. Thank you so much for all that you continue to do to support Seattle Children's and Casey Howard Guild. All right. I know that most of us are at home right now. Well, most of you are. Clearly, I'm at the Sunset Club. Where is my popover? I tell you what, everybody's is in the kitchen right now making good stuff for us. And although we all can't be here at the Sunset Club for a beautiful meal and some lovely wine together, hopefully you registered early and received the Seattle Citrus Rub. Ooh, that's going on some fantastic food today. This was made by a very generous and talented spice lady. As a matter of fact, she mixes up all the rubs and spices for John Howie, and John Howie is going to share some of his cooking ideas with us today. He wants to show his support and appreciation of Seattle Children's. Now, just like everybody else, we usually have events at night. So, John, if he says something about this evening instead of today or afternoon, give it to him. John, thanks again for putting this video together for us. Take it away.
Hi, I'm Chef John Howie, and I want to thank you for joining us tonight for this webinar. And as you know, we're supporting Seattle Children's Hospital tonight. And I have a personal interest. As a matter of fact, those two gentlemen standing to either side of my wife and myself up there in the picture have both had surgeries at Children's Hospital. And I have great gratitude for what they've done for my children, and I want that to be available to all children from here on out. So tonight, we're going to show you how to cook a little food and have a little fun, and then support Children's Hospital. Thank you for joining us tonight. Okay, so tonight I'm going to teach you how to make one of my all-time favorite dishes. It's the Parmesan crusted fish. Now tonight we're going to use some petrale sole, but you can use tilapia or even one of my favorites, halibut. So let me show you what you're going to need to make this happen. Okay, so first of all, you can see there's a lot of ingredients here. Don't write them down. At the end, we're going to show you a little picture of the recipe that you can then save. So let's talk about what we're doing with this. So of course we have some fish. This is our petrale sole tonight. And then we're going to crust it with a Parmesan, Asiago, and panko breadcrumb crust. So it started out like this, and then we blended it and got this nice little mixture over here. And then we're going to use a little bit of clarified butter in the pan when we cook it. And I'm going to make a wonderful butter sauce. Now you're going to want to pay attention to that though, because that butter sauce is one of the best things you're ever going to put on crab, cooked oysters, clams. It's amazing, and it's so much better than clarified butter, which to me just is kind of flavored oil. So anyways, we're going to show you how to make that. And then as we bread this fish, we have to use a cup of milk with 1 egg, and we're going to season the fish with what I call my seafood seasoning, which is just some kosher salt, black pepper, and some granulated onion. So that's what you have. This is going to make the whole dish. And you can use different accompaniments with this dish, whether it be some kind of rice or vegetable. Tonight we're going to show it with some mashed potatoes and some haricots verts. But right now, we're going to get into making it. So first, we have to make egg wash. What is egg wash? Well, it is a whole egg and a cup of milk whisked together, just so it's lightly whisked and it's ready to go. Doesn't take very long. And that's ready to go. We're going to then season the fish, which again has my seasoning of kosher salt, black pepper, and a little bit of onion, granulated onion, which is a dried product, of course. And so we season that fish really nice. And then the fish gets dipped into the egg, and then we just lay it right down into the breading. So that's the Parmesan, the Asiago. Push that over the top so we've got all the cheese on top, and just press it down fairly firmly, and then pull it up, and you should have this beautiful crusted fish. Got a couple more of those to do, and then we'll fry them up. Okay, so remember I talked about that wonderful butter sauce? Well, here we go. We're going to start by putting heavy cream into the pot. Now you're going to want to bring this to a simmer and then let it reduce slightly, and then all we're going to do is cream in the butter, and it's going to be ready to go. All right, so as you can see, this is reducing slightly, it's simmering. I'm going to turn down the heat just a little bit now. It started out at about a medium high, now I'm right at medium, and so we're going to start adding in the butter, and you want it in tiny little cubes so you can add a little bit at a time. And this is 50% salted and 50% unsalted butter. And so then you just stir that in. And so the first half, we're going to leave it on the heat while we stir that in, but you're going to stir rather quickly. You can see there's still chunks of butter in there. But you're going to stir rather quickly so that it doesn't break. The oil of the butter does not break inside there. And as soon as you get that first half of the butter done, just about there, very nice, no chunks of butter, we're going to add in the rest. We're going to turn off the heat, and we're going to let it finish just slowly. We're going to slowly stir that in. And so that will put on a very low, warm burner. We're just going to use that at the end. So now we're going to cook the fish. And this is very simple. I use a non-stick pan for this because that works the best. And we've got a pan that's just starting to warm up. Some of that clarified butter in there. If you want, it would be okay to use olive oil as well, but I'm using clarified butter. Okay, so we've got the butter warming up. It's on about a medium-high heat. And then we're just going to place the fish right into the pan. And we're going to let that sit till it gets a nice golden brown crust to it. So we're going to let that sit in there until you can see the edges starting to turn golden brown. All right, so you can see that the edges of the cheese are starting to get a little brown. We're just going to flip those over. Very nice. And then we'll let that finish up while we're waiting for the mashed potatoes and the beans. Okay, so the sole cooks very quickly. If it were a piece of halibut, it might be on there a little bit longer, but we're going to prop that up. And like I said, I've got some mashed potatoes here and a little bit of haricots verts, which are the French green beans. We'll prop that up on top, and then we'll just finish that with some butter sauce. which you can see is really nice and creamy now. We're just going to drizzle a little bit of that over that, and a little on the beans, and then around the plate. And then we'll just finish this plate with some chive and lemon oil. And that's just going to go around the plate outside in the butter sauce, and just a little drips here or there. So we'll just start with some few small drips. And there you have the Parmesan crusted fish from Sea Star Restaurant and Raw Bar, one of my all-time favorites. Thank you for joining me tonight on this webinar and in this little fun cooking adventure. I hope that tonight you'll have some fun, enjoy yourself, and help support Children's Hospital as they have supported so many of us. Have a great holiday season. Thanks for joining. I'm Chef John Howie, and we'll see you later.
Well, John, that was incredible. Wow. Oh, I'm telling you, thank you so much. That was so wonderful. You know what, you guys, the recipe is already posted up online on the website under the recipes section. Now, some lucky registrant will get to experience some of John Howie's outstanding quality ingredients for themselves. We've put all of the names of those of you who registered by December 2nd into a hat, and we're going to be doing a drawing for this amazing prime steak pack from John Howie Steak. As a matter of fact, we've all got a raffle ticket in the hat here, so we're going to have our wonderful camera person, Liz, draw the ticket. And come on in, Liz, and give us a ticket from our, drawing it right out of the hat. I'll hold my hand up right here. Thank you so much. I have the winner right here in my hand. Thank you so much, Liz. And our winner is Kim Bishop. You are going to win an outstanding John Howie steak pack. Oh, you are so lucky. Make sure you call me and we'll have some. I'll bring the wine. Okay. Thanks, everybody, for early registering. We're going to get on to the next portion of our program right now. Let's see if we can get some even more winners right here in our live auction. I know you've already been on the website taking a look at the live auction items. So many of you have already even given some of our dollar amounts. Thank you so much. So if you have your cell phones and computers ready to bid, let's get going. It's a little different doing this virtually. So here's how it's going to work. I'm going to describe each of the 5 items that we have, and the bidding will start. We're going to only have about 10 minutes to keep going back and bidding on these items. So if you've already been bidding, get back there as we talk about them. So in 10 minutes from now, the bidding will close, and I'm going to announce it, give you a countdown, and we'll close all 5 items at the same time. You can bid on any item at any time. I'm just going to be talking about them while you do. You'll be able to see the current highest bid on all the items on your phone. And when I say close, you'll get a notification if you've won. All right, here we go. Our first item of the day is Sage Lodge. You've been seeing some of these incredible pictures. And right now, it looks like Christy Peterson is in the lead. Thank you, Christy, for bidding right now. This is an amazing package, you guys. Just 35 minutes away from Yellowstone National Park. They offer ultimate luxury getaway. This resort you don't want to miss. The views are spectacular. Sweetly nestled in a beautiful valley with the mountains all around, you can organize a family reunion or bring a group of friends to stay for 2 nights in a private ranch house with 4 guest suites. Includes a $250 dining credit, 2 60-minute spa treatments, and a fly fishing lesson for all. If you go in the summertime or spring, if you go in the winter, just get the snowmobiles out and go for a long snow ride. It's fantastic. Our friends here have already been, so they're encouraging you to bid. It's valued at $6,500 and expires, well, next year. So we know how this is all going to go. So keep it going. It looks like our current bidding is still up at $4,000. Thank you so much. If you want to get on this, get back there and bid right now. This thing is going to go crazy. This is one of the best deals of the day. So keep getting. Go ahead and keep bidding, everybody. I'm going to go on to the next item in the live auction right now. This is our Lake Sammamish Progressive dinner. Oh, talent and the South Cove this evening for 10 people. Or if you just want to invite me over, I'm sure we'll have a big party. So 10 people start out by gathering at South Cove before a boat ride with the Basolds on Lake Sammamish, on the lakefront home of Doreen and Terry McTeague. So you can enjoy signature fresh baked pizza from one of these founders of Pagliacci. That's right. That's exactly who they are, while enjoying a beautiful view. Includes salads, drinks, and then it's back to South Cove by boat for dessert. The value is absolutely priceless. You can't get it anywhere else. And you can come to a mutually agreeable date sometime between May and September. That way, the sailing experience is beautifully perfect, and it's a maximum of 10 people. So keep bidding on this. It looks like, oh, Miss Cynthia is in the lead on this one, but coming up close, Christine is following closely behind, and even Aaron is in the running. You guys get back to this item and make sure you bid. We are trying to raise as much money as we possibly can tonight for Seattle Children's Hospital. You know how Casey Howard Guild does it. We only do it the best. So what's our next item while we're talking about it? With the timer continuing to count down. This is also one of my favorites. It's new this year, Talent and Casino Night. You guys, this is amazing. I can't wait for you guys to win this. My friend Bob over at 21 for Fun will bring Vegas to you. For you and 30 of your closest friends, or you and 30 of my closest friends. Don't forget to invite me on this one. Well, you can enjoy a night of gambling, appetizers and drinks. You can play all of your favorites. From blackjack, you can play Texas Hold'em, even with your own celebrity dealer, a table of roulette, a table of craps, a table of 21, right there in your backyard or location that you choose. Includes the setup, the tables, the supplies, dealers for 3 full hours. The lucky winner of this party also gets a foldable poker table and 300 poker chips just for playing anytime. So let the good times roll, everybody. It's valued at over $1,700 and expires in a couple of years from now, January of 22. So there's plenty of time to make this party happen at your place or mine. Holidays and the month of December are excluded, so be aware of that. All right, everybody, keep bidding. It looks like Heather is in the lead. Elizabeth is coming up second. Oh, so these two are vying for this one. Keep it going, you guys. You can bid on them. We still have about 8 minutes remaining or less to get there and get your final bids in. Remember, I'm going to close these all out in just a few minutes, all at the same time. So keep your bidding going. Let's see what the next item is right now. 2 nights at Post Hotel in Leavenworth. Oh, you guys, you could see me right now running across the stage talking about this, seeing who's going to be bidding right now. Hopefully you have your own homemade bid cards up at home and you're throwing them around the room. The ultimate rejuvenating experience awaits 2 of you in this wellness-focused gem set along the river in downtown Leavenworth, a beautiful setting. Spend your days in the wellness area with saunas, steam rooms, plunge pools, a swim-out saltwater pool, and indoor and outdoor spa. You know, just a quick note, the reason why they call it a plunge pool, it gets so hot in the sauna, I didn't realize this. I dove headfirst into the plunge pool and it was freezing. I got out shaking and I went back to the sauna, and then I plunged back in the freezing pool, and then out to the hot room, and then back into the plunge. It's so great. Just take a quick plunge. You all may have known that already. This was my first time. It also has a swim-out saltwater pool and indoor and outdoor spas to enjoy the view. There are spa services available, or you can just lounge in the lobby terrace or in the library. Breakfast, a light lunch, and evening coffee and tea are included. You won't ever want to leave. Valued at $1,500. This is amazing. 1 room, 2 nights, and you can enjoy that. Looks like Aaron is in the lead with Ara in second. Aaron, get back in there. Ara, place another bid. Do it now. Do it quick. We don't want you to miss out at all. What's next? All right. Cookies with Tiffany. Oh my gosh. Look at these cookies. I love Tiffany's cookies. These are amazing. You know what? Tiffany loves to look at freshly baked cookies as a big hug, and I do too. That's why I have one every morning. Something we can all use more of, especially during these crazy times. Her cookies are all made locally in Seattle, Washington, in small batches by hand with love from pure vanilla. That's right, 100% butter, and we know you'll taste the difference. 3 dozen special holiday cookies delivered this December. Then a baker's dozen. I just learned that that's 13 or more. You never know what the baker's going to throw in. Baker's choice, and they'll be delivered every month from January to December, all of next year. Delivery starts in December with your holiday cookies every month through the end of 2021. So this is valued at over $600, and it looks like we have Miss Cynthia back in the lead on this one. Judith, get back up there, Judy. Get another bid in. Let's see what's next. That's all 5 items. I can't believe it. You guys have 2 minutes before we close these items. This is your 2-minute countdown right now. So get back there and bid. I'm going to go back all the way to the top and find out who's in the lead. Let's see it. Here it is. 2 nights at the ranch house at Sage Lodge. Gretchen is now in the lead. Christy, get back in there. I can't believe you let Gretchen outbid you. So here comes our next one. The South Cove Lake Progressive Dinner. Christine is up top now. Miss Cynthia, watch out. You've just been outbid. Casino night. It looks like Mrs. Kristen, is up now to $1,000. Keep that one going. 2 nights. Oh, what's next? There you go. Coming up next, 2 nights at Leavenworth. Aaron is still in the lead. Come on, Ara. Get another one up in there. You don't want to miss out on this one. It's a special 2-person getaway. And Cookies with Tiffany. Judy is still up at $650. Thank you so much for your generosity, everybody. We're going to close it out in 30 seconds. You guys were getting so close. Keep bidding. Get back there. Remember, 30 seconds is going to go quickly, and you got to make it happen right now. Here we go. The casino night, 2 nights in Leavenworth. Aaron is up at the top. Ara is in for second place. What else is next? Here we go. Gretchen's still in the lead at Sage. Who else is going to make it happen? Christine, South Lake Cove. Well done. Heather Neal, we got 10 seconds to count down. Here it is. Way to go, Heather. Aaron, 2 nights in Leavenworth. You're doing it. Keep that bidding going. Go quick, go quick. Cookies, Judy is up. Here we go in 5, 4, 3. Get one more bid in. 2, 1. That's it. The live auction is closed, everybody. Woo! Well, you know how that goes. You could just see me running from side to side on the stage, making sure we get all those bids all the way in the back of the room. Thank you, everybody, for bidding. If you happen to win these live auction items, you will receive a text message from your mobile app right now. Thank you all for pivoting with us this year, bidding online. And those of you who already are donating, thank you, thank you, thank you. The thermometer continues to climb as all of our donations keep coming in left and right. We are getting closer and closer every moment to our goal. Okay, let's see what's happening next. As Judy mentioned earlier this year, we would love to focus a lot of our fund to need right now on mental health. Let's take a listen to Javi Barria's story right now.
My name is Javi Barria, and I am 22 years old. I was in middle school when my mental health first started deteriorating at a rate where I couldn't notice, but I kept denying that it was happening. I was fine. Everything was fine. I was just having a bad day. And then in high school, I could no longer hide it anymore, and I had a dissociative episode where I forgot where I was and who people were. And so they took me to Seattle Children's. I spent 3 months there. The psychiatric and behavioral medicine unit is designed for kids to be there like 2 weeks max. So me being there 3 months was kind of abnormal. After that, I went to a long-term treatment facility in Tacoma, and I spent the next 1.5 years there. I think the biggest stigma I faced was from myself. I didn't want to see a therapist. I didn't want to acknowledge that I needed to take medication because that means the problem's real. One of the things I felt really grateful for to have learned at Children's was that I am not my diagnosis. I am not my anxiety. I'm not my depression. I am not my autism spectrum disorder. It's a part of me, but it's not me. I think that's something that's been really important for me to advocate about too, is that I am so much more than what the DSM-5 says I am. As someone who has dealt with mental health issues, I can tell you it is a very lonely road, and it feels extremely isolating. Everyone deserves the care that I got. And the reality is that not everyone gets it right now. But the hope is that one day, no one will have to go through this alone. I can't change what happened to me in the past. I can't change the way that people dealt with me in the past. But what I can change is how people will deal with the next hobby, how people will deal with the kids who are in 3rd grade right now hiding in the library because they think they're going to get expelled. because they took a soccer ball without asking. And that's the way I've always tried to think about it. I wish this, but like, how can I change it for the next person? And I think the way I can change it for the next person is to keep advocating. No one really wants to talk about mental health, but it's so important that we do because it affects everyone. And so I noticed that if I can be that initiator to launch the conversation, then that's what I'm meant to do. I talk a lot about my story and what you can do to help others and support mental health awareness and, have the conversation. But I think one of the biggest things is just to have compassion. We have to take care of each other because that's all we have.
Thank you so much, Javi. And you know what? Somebody who is at the forefront of all of this is our friend, Dr. Elizabeth McCauley. Hello, Dr. Elizabeth.
Hi,
How are you?
I'm great. Thank you so much for letting me be part of this event.
I'm so glad you agreed to come on with us because this is something that is really affecting our young people in a crazy way right now. So I would love to ask you a few questions about how you impact the crisis care clinic and more. So, the Casey Howard Guild primarily raises funds for uncompensated care, but after hearing Javi's story and hearing some of the statistics about mental health crisis for children and young adults, Guild members have reached out to you to learn some more. So can you tell us about what Seattle Children's is seeing with children experiencing a mental health crisis and what impact that you anticipate from the pandemic?
Okay, well, over the last 10 years, we've seen a dramatic increase in the number of children presenting in need of mental health services. It's always been about 1 in 5 youth in our community have some sort of mental or behavioral health concern. But what we're seeing, I'm going to really focus, given the crisis care focus today, on issues around suicidality. And what we've seen across the United States is about, in the last decade, about a 57% increase in the number of youth who have died secondary to suicide. So the very dramatic increase. That has been accompanied by an equally dramatic increase in the number of youth who are presenting in our emergency department and emergency departments across the country with concerns about suicidality and suicide risk. Here at Children's, we've experienced what the rest of the country has experienced. And in our emergency department, we've had about a 60% increase in the number of youth presenting with emotional behavioral health concerns to the emergency department just between 2015 and 2019. So these numbers are rapidly increasing. It is actually taxing our service system. We're trying to figure out how to manage and take care of all these children very well. As was mentioned by Judy, depression and suicidality are one of the top reasons that children get admitted to Seattle Children's. More frequently than issues like chemotherapy or seizure disorders. So it's really a major problem seen in our children's population. Many of the children who are seen in the emergency department can be referred to our inpatient psych unit for hospitalization. And Javi talked a little bit about her time on the inpatient psych unit. However, the sheer number of youth that we're currently supporting or trying to support means that frequently the PBMU, which has 41 beds, so it's not a small unit, but frequently is full. And we are having to house the children in the ED until we can find an appropriate care facility for them or appropriate disposition. So this is what we are calling that as boarding, and we're boarding more and more youth in the ED, which is not in the ideal care setting because they're just kind of being held until we can find more ongoing care. So all of these trends have intensified with COVID. Here at Children's, I would say that we've seen an increase in youth presenting around suicidality, an increase in youth who are presenting also with aggression and eating problems, but youth around suicidality has been a major increase in our setting during this time of COVID. And it makes sense because kids are cut off, all of us are cut off from, but certainly youth are they're cut off from friends, they're cut off from routines, they're cut off from their sports or their other kinds of social activities. And they're probably a little bit more intensely at home, limited opportunities to get out and about. And that is increasing tensions, even in the best of situations, it's increasing tensions. So we are seeing a steady increase in demand for our services.
Right. Well, is a trip to the emergency room or a hospital stay actually the best and only answer?
We certainly in some cases, a hospital stay is the appropriate and most appropriate way to go. And I think Javi gave us some really a good story about that. But the emergency room, you can wait a long time. It's expensive intervention. And also we feel like a psychiatric hospitalization has some positives, but it also has some limitations. First of all, it's a brief intervention so that most youth don't stay there for a long time. As Javier again pointed out, most stay for maybe a week, maybe a few days. So their problems aren't resolved. They're stabilized, but their problems aren't resolved when they're discharged. So they need connection to ongoing care. The other possible risks or downsides of a hospitalization is it can change the way a youth feels about themselves. We definitely don't want our youth to be thinking that their behavioral or mental or emotional health problem defines them. It's only a small part of who they are. And that's really a critical point that Javi made. And also it can interfere with school, even Zoom school. It can interfere with school. It can interfere with any kind of social activities, family activities. And it can be very costly to both families and to our community at large. So we are not feeling in this period of time that that a hospitalization is necessary for many of the youth that we see. Just one other quick point. Youth who present with suicidality are frequently responding to stressors, immediate stressors, sometimes accumulated stressors, less than what we see with adults who frequently present maybe with a chronic mental health problem. For kids, it's a little bit more of a situational, transient state of events.
Well, and that brings us to how wonderful the crisis care clinic has been. And touch on it a little bit, but how much more can it help patients and families right now?
So the crisis care clinic, I'm going to quickly talk about the goals and then give you a little story about one of our patients so you get a sense for it. So our goal was to provide quick access to evidence-based care, which is critical, and improve outcomes for suicidal youth, and also try to do that in the outpatient setting for all the reasons I just said. We take referrals from RED, from RCL service, from our inpatient psych unit, but also from the community, from PCPs, from schools. So we're trying to serve a broader population. The model of care that we have is 1 to 4 appointments. We meet independent. There's a person who works with the parents. There's a person who works with the youth. We initiate right away the CAMS model, which is an evidence-based intervention. It's the Collaborative Assessment and Management of Suicidality. And it really sits with the youth to talk with them about what are the specific things that have led them to think about suicide. And then with the parents, we work with them to understand that and to support the youth to get stabilized again, with a real big emphasis on case management and connecting folks to ongoing care. Because we see kids from all over the area, some who would need care closer to home, particularly once COVID passes and we can actually see people in person. We are seeing people in person in the crisis care clinic, I should say. So let me just give you a quick example. So Laura is a 15-year-old girl who was referred to us from the CL service here at Children's after having been hospitalized for treatment of a suicidal gesture, an overdose on 50 Tylenol. That's a very serious health risk that she engaged in. Tylenol is very dangerous. And so when she had no prior mental health care, so she was not a kid who had any attention to this problem. And when we did the CAMS interview with her, what she talked about is her statements were, I mess up all the time. I'm always arguing with my parents. I make everybody mad. I feel stressed and worried about school. I'm worrying all the time, thinking. And that's a common problem we see with these kids. They have troubles on their mind and they aren't able to distract themselves or think of something else. They just are worried. They're kind of stuck, worried. Her reasons for dying was I keep hurting my parents and everyone else. And also the world seems to be getting worse. What's the point in living? So we are seeing some hopelessness in the youth that we're working with. Her reasons for living were friends, family, and her pet cat. So the reasons for living are frequently very concrete, very real. What we did was we worked immediately with her and her family on communication skills to decrease this arguing, to increase positive communication. We worked on safety planning to make sure that they had a way to communicate at home about safety. If she was feeling unsafe, that she could let them know she was feeling unsafe, and also that they could work together on some guidance about how to respond. We then worked also with her on some ways to manage this constant overthinking and worrying process so that she could relax some, distract herself, improve her sleep, and her overall well-being. The final thing that we did is I helped them identify an ongoing care provider and then have a really warm handoff with that care provider, obviously with their permission. We had a phone consultation with the care provider so they understood what had happened before, what was going on, so that the parents and the child and Laura didn't feel like they had to start all over again, that somebody was going to pick up care in kind of a seamless fashion. So that's kind of how it goes in the crisis care clinic.
Well, thank you so much for continuing to share that. You know, we're on a fundraiser right now. So how can the money that we raise today further your team's efforts? Okay, well, let me put one acknowledgement in there. This whole program was started by an anonymous donor. So these efforts, these gifts really make a difference. To date, we started in the spring of 2019, so not very long ago. And to date, we've seen 136 youth and their families, and with high satisfaction, I would say. And with more funds, what we would do is we would be able to hire additional providers and care managers. We would like to be able to extend our outreach to community providers, one about our service, but also about how to manage high-risk kids at home in the community without the need for either an ED visit or a hospitalization. And we would like to be able to reach out a bit more to PCPs in schools to kind of develop a link so that they too could utilize this kind of resource. I love it. Thank you so much for being with us today, Dr. McCauley, and for obviously all the incredible work you're doing for youth and with families. Thank you. Well, we're going to talk now with Javi Berea to get her perspective as a former patient. Thank you again, Dr. McCauley.
Hello.
Hey, Javi, how are you?
I'm good. Sorry, I didn't know if I was supposed to start talking.
No, you're absolutely fine. And as a matter of fact, I didn't know if you were going to send me a Star Trek signal or not. I saw that earlier.
Oh.
Live long and prosper. I saw that in your video. I'm so glad a fellow Trekkie is out there with me. So thank you. And can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you okay.
Okay, great. We want to get your perspective to being a former patient and how things have progressed with you.
Yeah, so it's been a journey, that's for sure. Um, so after my hospitalization, I finished up high school and I went to college, and now I'm working at REI. So that's a lot of fun.
Well, you've been a huge advocate for Seattle Children's Hospital and even the programs to help others with mental health issues nationwide. Tell me about your trip to DC.
Yeah, no, so that was a lot of fun. So oh gosh, I want to say about a year oh, I don't know my time frame. COVID has messed up my time frame. But last summer I got to go to Washington D.C. to speak with members of Congress about basically my story and why the work Seattle Children's has been doing is so important. So I went with my mom and my sister, and we went with Suzanne Peterson, who's the vice president at Seattle Children's, and we got to talk to a bunch of members of Congress from Washington State, so how it directly affected families here in Washington State. And I remember just the reception we received was just so amazing. It was they were invested. They wanted to help make that change. And it was amazing. They connected with us. They all took the time to meet with us. I think we met with almost every single actual member of Congress or senator, except for like maybe two. We met with their chief of staff. But it was a trip of a lifetime, and it was important. I think it was really inspiring to see how well they received what we were saying.
It's so good and incredibly important for other young people to know that there is an option. There are other things that can be help them along the way there, because it's such a crazy year. You even mentioned it, how it's messed up your timeline. And so we all have different expectations. So, you've had an incredible journey managing your own mental health now and learned how to do that with new tools. So are there any words of advice for our parents, or even us as parents, grandparents and aunts and uncles who are watching today? And how can we help?
Yeah, I think, I kind of say it in the video, but I think the biggest thing is to have compassion. I think, I always kind of say, like, at the end of the day, no one's going to remember us by what kind of car we drive or what house we live in. What they're going to remember is the impact we had on their lives. And that impact can be negative or positive. They're going to remember how we made them feel. And for me, it's always been about, how can I help the next person? And so, I think mental health is something, and again, I say it in the video, like, it can be a very isolating experience and you feel like you're alone. I remember when I was younger, I always felt like I was an alien on this planet and that no one would ever understand me, that I would never find my people. But like with everything, there is hope. And I think just reminding kids that it can get better, it will get better. And something I really am passionate about is that everyone deserves the care that I got. But the reality is that, like I say in the videos, the reality is that not everyone gets that care right now. So, when we're raising funds for this, the idea is that one day everyone will get that care, because that care can open up so many doors, so many windows of opportunity. And sometimes all you need is that one little crack in a door, and then you're just busting through the door and you're going. And I think for me, sharing my story and advocating has been so much more than just trying to help the next Javi. I think for me, it also helps me learn how to cope, because it helps me learn how to talk about it. And I think that's one of the big issues with mental health right now and mental illness, is that no one wants to talk about it. It's an uncomfortable subject. It talks about how we're vulnerable, but it needs to be had. And I think if kids start seeing more people having that conversation and normalizing that conversation, then they're going to feel more comfortable talking about it. And that's so important.
Well, we can't thank you enough for sharing with us. And we have that video, and we want to share that with as many people as we can to continue to share that message, that news of hopefulness in seemingly a hopeless year. And for so many young people, thank you for all you do, Javi. You're a wonderful young person. Thank you for continuing to do the work that you do. Keep sharing that message of hope and compassion with everybody. We all need it. And best wishes to you and your family for this holiday season from the Casey Howard Guild.
Thank you for having me.
Wow. All right, everybody, you heard it right there. Two things: compassion, and let's raise some more funds. This is how we continue to help these programs succeed and change lives like Javi's and so many others. This year has been so impactful on so many young people and even adults with just not understanding how to deal with being alone or the feeling of being alone. So thank you all for joining us in making miracles happen right now. Well, we're going to get to some of our Raise the Paddle numbers. You all have been so generous right now. We want to thank everyone who have already gone on to that mobile site or sent in a check or already given. I mean, if you click over to your thermometer right now, you will see that we're already over $60,000. So we are getting closer and closer to our goal. Our goal today is $1 million. So if anybody no, it's not literally, but if anybody out there wants to give $1 million, we'll let you do that anonymously if you wish. But let's start off at $10,000 today and see how this thermometer continues to rise. Right now, we're raising money. Our Raise the Paddle is for mental health. And so $10,000, we'd love to thank our friends in Lake Stevens for giving $10,000. It looks like someone in Issaquah has just given $10,000. Thank you. We also have someone in Seattle, $10,000, you guys. The paddle is continuing to raise virtually, and the thermometer is heading towards the top. That's what we want to see. Look at that, 72,000 and climbing. Keep it going. We want to double that if we can right now and continue to make this thing go. All right, here we are. $5,000. Let's talk about that. Obviously, you can give at any level right now that you'd like. You could give at every level right now. That's what we want to encourage you to do. So at $5,000, we already have someone in right now from Issaquah. Thank you so much. Someone from Bainbridge Island has just given $5,000. Thank you. Thank you. And another in Seattle at $5,000. If you live in any of these areas that I just called out, come on back in. We'd love to acknowledge you in your area as well as you watch us from home. Just like we mentioned in our thank you video that maybe you're wearing your pajamas and enjoying your beverages, sitting on the couch with your friends or family. Thank you for continuing to give. Continue to encourage each other to give. And you know what? Before we move to our next level, I just want to thank once again those of you who have already given at $10,000 and $5,000. I'm going to pause for a quick moment because I have some very, very important information to share with you. An amazing woman and her legacy, Dorothy and Bob Byers, were known as the dynamic duo. And Mr. and Mrs. Husky, that's right, they loved the dogs. Whoop. Dorothy had a beautiful smile and a sharp wit and an incredibly fun sense of humor. She was always active in her community, and in addition to raising 4 children, Mike, Sue, Doug, and Kathy, always supported Seattle Children's Hospital. She volunteered there for 25 years and was a very generous donor. She was a lifetime Guild member, a Guardian Circle member, and a Circle of Care member. In 1996, she was even awarded the Anna Kleiss Award. As you know, it's the Guild Association's highest honor for exceptional volunteerism. 3 of her children and her daughter-in-law have followed in her footsteps with Seattle Children's through being active Guild members and philanthropists as well. We are so honored to have known Dorothy and to now continue to know her family. Dorothy has left a generous donation to Uncompensated Care to be used as a Raise the Paddle match today. So please join us in our appreciation of her gift. You know, we are raising money and Raise the Paddle for the Crisis Care Clinic and Mental Health, and Dorothy Byers' estate is matching everything up to $60,000, starting at our next level, dollar for dollar, at $2,500 and below. Everybody who gives at $2,500 and below will be matched right now. So every dollar that we raise for the Crisis Care Clinic, Dorothy's estate is going to match for uncompensated care. So our passion and our heart and everything that we love to do here at Casey Howard Guild, we're going to be able to do simultaneously, raising money for 2 incredible causes that are so close to our hearts and that we are passionate about. So here we go. Let's hit that $2,500 level and give. If you already gave at $10,000 and $5,000, slip in another $2,500. Well, looks like we have 2 people from Seattle just now. Thank you so much, giving $2,500. That has instantly doubled. And this match is already being applied. So here we are. $2,500. Keep it going, you guys. Get back there. We're now over $75,400. So keep that thermometer climbing. Don't forget, this is raising money for Seattle Children's Hospital Mental Health Crisis Care Clinic. And now with Dorothy Byers' estate, the $60,000 match for uncompensated care. So keep that dollar amount rising. Here we go. Let's go to the $1,000 amount right now and talk a little bit about that. Thank you, all of our anonymous donations. Look at that. The thermometer is climbing. Someone in Camano Island has just given $1,000. Now that's been doubled. Somebody in Mercer Island has given $1,000, and that instantly doubled. Seattle, 3 people in Seattle have already jumped in at $1,000, and all of those are instantly doubled. We're going to hit this $60,000 match, you guys. Keep it going. Issaquah, 2 people from right here in my backyard have given $2,000. Thank you. Kenmore and Kent are also sneaking in with $1,000. Somebody in Sammamish has just given $1,000. Look at this. We're at $85,000 and climbing, you guys. Keep it going. We've got to get every dollar of this match, so keep it rolling. Once again, this match starts at the $2,500 level. So if you were going to give it $1,000 or had a custom dollar amount in mind, jump it up to $2,500 or $2,400 or $2,200. You could put in a custom dollar amount right now. I saw somebody come in at $300. So get your dollar amounts in. All right, we've already added $30,000 in match funds. So keep it going. Let's get another $30,000 in there so we can double all of that instantly. Okay, anybody else at $1,000 before I move down to the $500 level? Keep those coming in, you guys. We're going to keep revisiting these levels. Let's go to $500 right now. Keep it rolling. 500 is our current level, and I know that we can get this continued. We've got about 30,000 left to add into the match, so keep it rolling. $500. Anybody else in there? Judy, do we have anybody at 500 coming in? All over town, everybody is giving from your living room, from your mobile device. And if you want to call in and give a pledge to one of our guild members, please call in to the board and pledge right now. If you want to give but don't feel comfortable giving in the mobile app or online right now, please call us as well. We want to make sure that you have that ability to give whatever it is you want to give. So $500 is our current level. And we're also going to move on into the $250 level. Look at this, you guys. I'm getting our update of the thermometer. We are already over 118,000. Let's keep it climbing. I'm about to jump up out of this seat. I don't want to mess up my flatware here. So keep it rolling, everybody. Keep it going. Now we've just added another 15,000 in matching funds. We are so close, you guys. $15,000 remaining. If somebody wants to pledge another $15,000 right now just to make it happen, do it. We want to close this gap. We want to make sure that while we're on the broadcast with you today in your pajamas, that you can make us hit this match right now. You can tell I'm a little bit excited about this, and I cannot thank the Byers Estate enough for putting this out there. Dorothy, thank you so much. I know you're watching us right now, and you are so pleased with what's happening. We love you and miss you. And continue to give, everybody. Keep going. There's $15,000 left in the match. So from the next couple of levels at $250, give. The $100 level, give whatever you can. I know this pandemic has hit all of us and each of us in different ways. So that's why we have chosen to show all the donations as anonymous, because we are so encouraged. If all you can do is watch and believe with us in your heart, thank you. If you can give $50, thank you. If you can give a custom dollar amount of whatever that is, thank you. You've heard me every year for the last 10 years say that I believe every dollar is just as important as the next. And it is absolutely true when we are impacting lives like Javi Berea and other young people who are suffering right now from mental health issues. And we can help change those lives right now. So please give whatever is left. Give whatever you can today and continue to do so to help support Seattle Children's, the Crisis Care Clinic, and Casey Howard Guild. So we have these 3 levels left, 250, 100, Thank you. Another anonymous donation just came in at $100. I've said it before. I'll say it again. If you give at a high level, come back in at every other level without penalty from the state of Washington whatsoever. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. It looks like these donations are continuing to come in. There's another anonymous $100. Another $250 just creeping in right now. Another anonymous, thank you. This is rising. Thank you. $10 for an anonymous giver. This continues to help us, and I love you so much. Thank you for giving that $10. A $136,000 and climbing. Thank you for these donations. Another anonymous donation of $1,000. Did I just see that somebody added another $5,000? Thank you so much. Looks like we have another $10,000 in match funds added. So how many are left, you guys? How many are close? I'm going to keep asking. I'm going to keep on asking until we get all of these dollars matched before we sign off with you today, you guys. I know I said we are in one-way Zoom streak right now, and you're just watching us from home. I just wish I could see all your faces right now. I bet everybody's up there doing that happy dance with me, making sure that we get this dollar match, dollar for all of this uncompensated care and health care crisis. Another anonymous donor at $250. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Keep it going. We're at 147 and climbing. I think we got to get to 150 at least, right? That's our gap goal right now. We want to shut in that goal of $150,000. There's $5,000 left in the match, you guys. So if we hit that 150 in donor dollars, we'll get that extra 5,000. So keep it coming in, you guys. Oh my goodness. I know we're all social distance here right now, and everybody from the distance over there, they're just dancing. So thank you so much for giving. You guys keep it rolling. We're at 147,600 and climbing. Another $200 came in. See, that's a custom dollar amount. Thank you for that. Another $50 just popped up on the screen. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Look at this. That's a 5,000, another 5,000 coming in. Okay, anonymous, $200 is creeping in. You guys, I love it. You know what, everybody out there, if you gave already and you can give another $100 or $250 or $500, make it happen right now. Close this gap. We are getting so close. We're almost to 148,000 right now. We just need to close this gap so closely. We're just over $2,000 left to close the $150,000 gap. Did we do it? I'm getting some messaging right now. Just so close. About 2,000 left. Close that gap up to 150,000. Bam! Look at it. Refresh your screen right now. Up at the top of your screen, there's a little half arrow. Press that or pull it down, and it'll refresh your thermometer. We just went over 152,000, you guys. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Can you hear the cheering out in this, everybody right now? Oh, thank you so much, everybody. Whew. I would say my job here is done, but it is really because of each and every one of you. I am so honored and grateful to be back here with you this year. This is my 10th year to be with the Casey Howard Guild, and it is the joy of my season. Thank you all so much for joining us online in this crazy time where we have to do everything distanced, but I can't wait to be with you all again next season. Whew. Thank you all, everybody. Now, it's hard for me to come down from that, but we still want to give away some prizes. I believe we have a raffle to give, and this is for the state of Washington, for our raffle commission, gambling commission, who's watching us right now, keeping us all under tabs, right? So this is our license. Am I right? We raised over 10,000 in raffle tickets. Oh my gosh, over $13,000. So that's another chunk right there that we are continuing to raise money for, and we're going to draw the ticket. Like I said, we've all got a horse in the race. So I'm going to ask our lovely camera person, Liz, to come and draw me a ticket. We have 3 drawings, right? Our first one. Ooh, 2 tickets anywhere Alaska Airlines, unrestricted. So you don't want to miss out on this, including international. So there's no blackout dates, valued over $2,600. And here's the ticket. I have it in my hand. Oh my goodness. I know this person. I will carry your luggage, Kathy Perkins. I will carry your luggage wherever you want to go. Congratulations. I'm going to put it right here by our legal documentation. Kathy Perkins, you've just won 2 tickets on Alaska Airlines. Congratulations. I've got another one coming right up. Put it in right in my little pinch your fingers. And here it is. This is for our diamond bangle bracelet. What better holiday present for one of your wonderful, lovely people out there. Brought to you by Nordstrom's exclusive designer, Bonnie Levy. Thank you. Valued at $2,400, Amanda Golden. Amanda, thank you so much for getting in on our raffle. I'm going to put this right here. State of Washington valid drawing of raffle right here. We have one final drawing in our raffle today. Thank you, everyone who supported our raffle by purchasing 1 or 10 tickets. This third final raffle is 2 nights in an ocean view room at the Cape, an exclusive Thompson resort in Cabo, Mexico. Here we go. Here it is. I have it. Thank you, Liz. Karen Halpert. Karen, I know your sister's in here jumping up and down for joy because she thinks you're taking her to Cabo. I mean, you just never know. But Karen, congratulations. You are our 3rd winner. There it is, right? Oh, there it is. It is a legitimate drawing. State of Washington. It's standing. There we go. All right. Thank you so much, everybody, for supporting our raffle today. Congratulations to our 3 raffle winners. Our grand total so far in the event, and just to remind you, you can give all day and all night long before we close this thing. Absolutely. It'll be open for a week. You can continue to share this with folks. We are currently at $152,820. Whoop, whoop. Oh my goodness, what an amazing kickoff to our giving week. So we'll leave the website open for further donations. I think we're going to even have some of the program recorded and online for you to watch. Is that right? Okay, we're going to be able to record some of the segment and put it up there. We'll send you a link that you can watch or share it with your friends and family. That way, you can continue to donate and change lives. We will contact you and deliver your raffle prizes. For those of you wondering right now, there's people texting in, where are my tickets? Karen, they're coming. So, all right, and thank you. We'll also notify you of how you get your live auction winnings as well. Thank you so much. But before I sign off, I would love to welcome back my lovely co-host, Judy. Come on back up, Judy. Put my mask on. This isn't in the script, she says, but Judy worked day and night tirelessly on this event. And so we have from our members and our board, we'd love to give you a token of our wonderful thanks to you because you are amazing. And we are not worthy of how awesome you are. Here's a toast of champagne. Thank you so much. Cheers to you. I'm going to tip my glass here. And cheers to you. Cheers to you. You guys, thank you. Judy, you are wonderful. I can step off camera if you want to guzzle that thing. I mean, you deserve it after all the hard work you put into this thing. She's like, just bring me the bottle and a straw. I'll be happy. You guys, on behalf of Casey Howard Guild.
And cheers to all our Casey.
Thank you so much. Happy holidays, and we hope to see you in person next year.